So Nvidia is placing a massive billion-dollar bet that the entire future of AI is going to run on Nokia's networks. Now, for us as investors, there's really only one question that matters. Is this the move that finally turns Nokia back into a tech giant? Let's dig in. Okay, so here's the plan. We're going to break down the hard numbers on this huge deal. Then we'll do a quick checkup on Nokia's financial health using their latest Q3 numbers. And finally, we'll connect all the dots on the big strategic play here. You're not getting any fluff, just the data you need to make a decision. All right, first things first, let's get grounded in the actual facts of the deal. This whole thing was announced on October 28th, 2025. And believe me, it's way more than just a simple partnership. This is a serious injection of capital. The headline number? A clean $1 billion. And this isn't a loan or some complicated financial instrument. We're talking about a direct equity investment from Nvidia straight into Nokia's pocket. That's a huge boost to their balance sheet, and it's meant to put their plans into overdrive.
So how did they structure this? Well, the deal was set at a subscription price of $6.01 per share. For investors, that number is important because it sets a really clear benchmark for how Nvidia values the strategic play.
And what does that all add up to? It means Nvidia now owns a 2.90% stake in Nokia. Now, that might not sound like a controlling interest, but it's a very meaningful position. This isn't just a friendly collaboration anymore. Their interests are now officially and powerfully aligned. Okay, so Nvidia's putting $1 billion in. The big question for any investor is, what exactly are they buying into? To really get the opportunity here, we've got to understand how Nokia is performing right now. So let's jump into their latest Q3 results. The view from the top is, of course, pretty rosy. The CEO, Justin Hoddard, is highlighting a 9% sales growth, and he's making a point to say that every single part of the business grew. The message they're sending is one of broad, stable expansion across the board. But here's where it gets really interesting for us as analysts. This table tells a very nuanced story. See, on the surface, everything looks pretty good, right? Net sales are up a solid 9%. But the real story, the one you have to look for, is in the margins. Gross margin is down 150 basis points. Operating margin squeezed by 220. So the top line growth is there, no doubt, but profitability is taking a hit. The big question is, why? So where's the money coming from? Well, this chart basically shows you the engine room of the company. Network infrastructure is the biggest piece of the pie by far, pulling in 41% of all revenue. This is the absolute core of Nokia's business, and as you're about to see, it is central to this whole Nvidia deal. And boom, here it is. This is the answer to our margin question. Their fastest growing segment, network infrastructure, is up 11%, which is great. It's being driven by a massive 19% surge in optical networks, mostly from, you guessed it, AI and cloud customers. But look at the operating margin. It fell off a cliff, going from almost 12% down to 7%. Why? Increased R&D investment. They're pouring money into chasing this AI opportunity. And that right there is why the Nvidia deal isn't just helpful, it's a strategic necessity. So you can see where this is all going, right? That R&D spend, that pressure on the margins, it all points to the bigger picture. This investment is not just some simple financial transaction. It is a calculated, strategic strike from both companies to try and dominate the next massive wave in tech, the AI supercycle. And when you look at the goals, it's a perfect fit. I mean, Nokia gets to fast-track its 5G and 6G software on Nvidia's world-class platform. And in return, Nvidia gets to bake Nokia's essential data center and optical tech right into its own future AI hardware. You see, this is all about building the fundamental railroad tracks that the entire AI industry is going to run on. And look, this isn't just some pie-in-the-sky plan for 5 years down the road. The strategy is already working. The data tells the story. AI and cloud customers already make up 6% of Nokia's total sales. But drill down into those key areas we just talked about, they're 14% of network infrastructure sales and the staggering 29% of optical network sales. The demand is absolutely real, and it is growing fast. All right, let's bring it all home. What does all this, the deal, the strategy, the numbers, mean for an investor right now? What's the company saying about the future, and what does it mean for the stock? What's really telling here is that even with all that R&D spending hitting their margins, management isn't blinking. Nokia is holding its full-year 2025 guidance steady. They're still projecting operating profit between 1.7 and 2.2 billion euros, and they expect to turn a healthy 50 to 80% of that into free cash flow. That's a strong signal of confidence from the top. Look, this partnership with Nvidia is a genuine turning point. So the billion-dollar question for every single one of us is this. Is this the move that finally lets Nokia cash in on the AI supercycle? Can they turn their foundational network tech into a new era of growth and market dominance? All the pieces are now on the board.